Hello,
We don't want to play
internet.
things from the past.
No, hello, internet. It is I, and then it is Darren, and I will hide the chat that we were looking at. And it is us. This is 287. After what I would say was the worst, like yesterday of my life,
What?
watching American wrestling being proven inferior or non-existent, some would say, against against the great Russian destroyer, great Eastern European destroyer, Kazakhstan destroyer Khabib Nurmagomedov, and yeah, my day was ruined, very ruined. But
Did you really feel like emotionally fucked up?
I was kind of just sad because it was just like, yo, like, dude, you could have really done something in your life, and I don't mean that against Justin Gaethje, like, oh, you haven't done anything, but you could have really done something, like you know how
Like you're the guy that beat the guy.
yeah, and it was and people, apparently it wasn't just me who thought that was going to happen. Other people, like the judges, were agreeing with my story for a little bit. They were like, oh,
So,
first round is 10-9, Justin.
all right. I find that appalling, actually.
I do, but I want that story to be told. It's like, hey,
That story has now been told. You have now told the people that two of the three judges, I believe,
yes,
is that accurate?
that is correct.
Scored round one for Justin Gaethje. Now I was sitting there rooting for Justin Gaethje with a friend sitting next to me who was rooting for Khabib. And he was so confident in Khabib's dominance that he just sat there without speaking. He was just like, watch my boy fuck your boy up. And I was like, I don't think so, dude. Justin's been looking good. He's going to be more patient. I think he's going to be able to find a way to do this. And he was like, right. Watch my boy dismantle your homie. And that's exactly what happened. I don't think that there's a reasonable argument for Justin winning round one.
No, there's not.
Like, I don't know what that argument would be. He didn't control the cage. He landed some of his leg kicks. And he got taken down and mounted and nearly armbarred at the end of the round.
Yeah.
So, how do you go 10-9 Justin on a round where you were seriously a few seconds or a few moments away from being finished? Is madness. Like, that's fucking madness, Anthony.
That's wild. It's crazy.
The record will show that two of the three judges did in fact score that round for Mr. Gaethje. I don't think Mr. Gaethje thinks he won that round. You know what I'm saying?
No. I don't think anybody would think they won that round if you got walked down. I mean, like, honestly, you won. Like, a lot of people might have said you won the round because you stopped a takedown. It's like you stopped
right, exactly.
a takedown. That's the reason why they gave you a 10-9.
You did not win the round.
Yeah.
Like you did not win the round. You lost the round.
Yeah.
And then, how about Jason Herzog and how he lost? Because it's your job to protect these guys. Justin Gaethje tapped.
Oh, yeah.
Then he tapped again, and then he went out.
Yeah.
That never had to happen.
No.
Khabib even indicated, like, physically that, hey, this is happening right now. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when I saw that fight, I saw Khabib indicate, hey, this dude just tapped.
Yeah.
But he wasn't going to let him go because he understands the rule set and the stakes.
Mm-hmm.
If you let the guy go and the guy recovers and fucking clocks you, now you're an idiot, right? So you got to hold him in the choke. And Justin's a good man. He got up. He didn't say, like, oh, this guy didn't have to choke me out. Yes, he did. But why did he have to? Because Jason Herzog was out of position or didn't have his eyes in position. If his body was in position, his eyes were looking elsewhere when Khabib made him tap.
Yeah.
And it's just a choke, right? So nothing catastrophic's going to happen.
Not true.
But what if you had switched off to that? What do you mean not true?
No,
it is essentially true.
No, it's not essentially true,
The chances of something bad happening because you got triangled and put to sleep in a UFC cage and let go within like 4 or 5 seconds of being unconscious, nothing's gonna fucking happen. Like, I mean, all right, fine. What's gonna happen, Anthony?
All right.
Tell me.
So as you say this, there's been more and more things of like people having strokes because of not even because
strokes?
Yeah, strokes. Not even because of not tapping.
People never try jiu-jitsu?
I'm just telling you. I'm just letting you know. It's not even from not tapping. It's literally from just holding out longer than you should have. Not even not tapping. That's the real issue that's happening. Like there's like I think there was one individual who got rear naked, and he tapped, but it was just he was fighting through the choke, and because of that straight, like once again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, I don't have the scientific facts in front of me, but this guy is in a coma right now, and for one of the reasons, because of they're saying that he has stretched capillaries in the neck, so basically is that it was like a slow process where he got done with training, he got up the next day, he went to go see a movie, and then he just fell on the floor, and nobody found him in the theater, and then it wasn't because of the concussion. It's it's they're his neck. It's if you do an MRI, you could see that his capillaries are stretched, blood's not getting to his brain.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, and it's that. It's more. It's happening more and more. It's not super common getting a concussion and then being fucked up for the rest of your life or for
Are we talking about? You know, some people will do a contest where you're supposed to drink a lot of water.
Right.
And then they die from drinking too much water.
Yeah.
Right. We wouldn't then go and decide that we would call water dangerous.
Right. You wouldn't say water is dangerous, but the act of not having electrolytes in your water is dangerous.
Respect.
Yes.
So distilled water would be dangerous. Now, I interrupt this discussion just to say something really awesome.
Yeah.
I just got a text message about studio time.
Nice.
Music is coming. All right, so yeah, I want to make sure that we're not overstating the level of danger here.
Yeah, it's not.
Right?
It's not like hey. It's not like every time you're in a choke, it's there's a possibility that you could have a stroke and die. It's that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's saying that it's a possibility though.
That I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable saying that
hey man, you gotta accept certain things in life. How you just accepted that weed sometimes make you cloudy. You have to accept some things in your life now.
That's why my joints are so skinny now.
Exactly. I'm just saying you just gotta accept certain things now.
Look, I don't accept this, and maybe one day I will. Right? Maybe one day I'll come around to your way of thinking, Anthony Myrtle, but not today. Not today, you son of a bitch. Besides, you were wrong about Justin and Khabib. You could be wrong about this, you know?
I agree. I mean, I agree, but
I was also wrong about Justin and Khabib.
I'm very sad about that. That fight literally angered me. I get it. I don't fight.
I was in no way upset. I mean, at the end of the day, it put over what I think about fighting.
What?
That if you're versatile and you can blend your skills the best, that you're the best.
Right. I mean, that's fine, but literally, it's watching a guy, and like I said, I'm not there. I don't know what's going on in his life. I'm not a fighter. I don't fight under bright lights. But it's dude, I'm just watching you, and you're just you're here and you're smiling, and it's why aren't you moving your body? That's all I want from you, is just to move your body.
Are you talking about Justin?
Yes, that's all I wanted.
I think he did move his body. I'd argue that he moved his body too much in the wrong directions.
I agree, but there was points where
Did you see Chael Sonnen's video about this fight yet?
What? What did he say?
It appeared that Chael was getting legitimately hot so much that he had to calm himself down and be I'm not trying to run Justin Gaethje down, because he flipped out. He said "God damn it" twice.
Yeah.
He flipped out. He was basically why the fuck did this dude run around the cage when your whole career has been driven on you going forward and fucking walking people down and putting pressure on motherfuckers, and now you're so worried this dude's gonna take you down that you just run side to side for an entire round? That's not.
Yeah, it's not. Normal.
That's not you.
It's not. That's not a. Yeah. And
so now you're fighting with a guy that's not your very best self.
Yeah, I mean.
And that's one way to look at it.
You got hypnotized. Conor McGregor hypnotizes people. The Russians got hypnotism too.
He very well might.
Yeah.
He very well might. He looked like magic out there. I'm not gonna lie. He looked like magic. And the second that the leg kicks started to look like they were affecting his movement,
yeah.
The second they did, he was "We're scoring this takedown.
Yes.
We're not gonna get And it was he had a little grip on the knee pull, kept entering, kept rotating. Boom, down goes Justin.
Yeah.
And his transition from I'm controlling you to now I am mounted on you in a dangerous spot for you was
quick.
Fast as fuck.
It was quick. That was the quickest I've ever seen him move his body ever in a fight. Usually it's collecting, it's capturing, it's smashing. It's nope, not today. We're just going to end this really quickly.
Yeah, he also took the only triangle that I ever take. Which is weird because that morning, and this is gonna sound like bullshit, but it's funny that you say the thing about choking people and like how it can be dangerous to stay in a choke.
Yeah.
And that could be finished. I use the exact same finish that could be abused, like to a T. Just in a training session that morning, right? Took the triangle from the top of the mountain, same way. Rolled to my shoulder, hook the leg, squeezy, squeezy, and then the person in my legs starts making like noises.
Yeah.
Like I'm about to like snore noises.
Yeah.
So I open my triangle briefly, but I keep my hand on my shin.
Yeah. To let
right?
that, yeah.
Because Khabib's playing for keeps. I'm not playing for keeps. But I'm also playing for taps. Because that's a part of my life that I need to improve on the mat. Like,
yeah.
I need to tap more people. I pass a lot of guards, mounts a lot of motherfuckers, but a lot of motherfuckers go away thinking, well, at least they didn't get tapped. So I'm trying to fix that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm finishing my shit when I catch it, right? I'm not like, oh, catch and release. Like, no, I'm going to make you tap just so I know if I can. So so I let him out for a second, and then I put him right back in that bitch. And then I started squeezing again. And then there were noises for a second, and then he tapped. But that makes me think, like, I wonder now if I killed this guy slowly because of what you just fucking said to me. That's why I'm resisting it, Anthony.
Gotcha.
I'm resisting it because I don't want to think that I fucking killed this guy yesterday because he didn't want to tap.
If you see him 2 days from now,
I truly don't believe I killed this guy.
Yeah, if you see him 2 days from now, you're good. You're good. He's good.
But if you don't,
yeah, probably. Yeah.
If he's not in the gym on Tuesday, it's because you killed him, Darren. You're a fucking murderer.
Yeah. You're a murderer. But yeah, it was.
I did just confess to it though. If that does happen.
You did. All right. Well, enough with the sadness of the Khabib versus Justin.
Let's not call it sadness.
It is sadness. I was sad with what happened. I can understand Chael's anger. I didn't even put that in my perspective of like, oh, this is the most violent man in the most violent sport. I didn't even put that in my mind because that would have made me so much madder. I just said, hey, man.
I mean, like, when you think of it that way, and just think of it in a more objective way. Think about it in a way that doesn't even involve Justin. If you're known to do a certain skill set, right? You do a certain approach.
Yeah.
And it's fucking successful for you.
Mm-hmm.
On the day that means the most, it is very dangerous to change what you did. The phrase that Chael likes to use, and it's a phrase that everyone uses, is you dance with the girl you got you there. You know, you dance with the girl you came with.
Yeah.
So if you came with, I'm going forward, I'm smashy, then you don't want to go into the situation and be like, I'm choosing another girl. I'm a dancer now. I move around side to side more.
Yeah.
It's like, pulling the reins back on you was a good idea. That's why I went with you. So the Tony Ferguson fight, I thought the reins were a little tighter on him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, it
Or
does.
like he wasn't as wild, but that forwardness, that aggression was still there. It was pulled back a notch, which I thought gave him a great deal of safety and clarity, right? But to completely decide that I'm going to be a different guy who now, instead of traveling in this direction, will now travel in these directions, these along a horizontal plane.
Lateral movements, not cool.
I don't know if that's the best guy. And so, like, your best self fighting someone else, you have a good shot. If I'm auditioning a brand new character against their best self, my chances go down tremendously.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what we saw.
Yeah.
But we also saw a guy that was willing to go for submission finishes when he believed he could do it.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't see that very often. Like, in terms of especially the mounted triangle to going to the guard for the triangle.
Yeah.
With that much time in the round, I would say most fighters to do that, their corners would be going nuts, being like, this is not the right move, right?
Yeah.
And, like, I feel both ways about it. So whenever something happens, right, and this is whether I'm, like, coaching on the side of a jiu-jitsu match or there's an AMI fight, or if I'm lucky enough to be outside the UFC cage helping Jess, like, I don't want to fucking ever be like, no, when something happens, verbally. Never do I ever want to be caught on camera, on mic, being like, no, because what a fucking sell that is, right? But, like, the internal thing, if there's a minute 30 on the clock, and you lock up a triangle and you're on top and you roll to your shoulder, there's a piece of my heart that goes, oh God, no. Because there's a chance you could end up on bottom and make a mistake.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if it's a move that I've seen you do hundreds of times, you can relieve that internal no. Right? But most coaches, if they're sitting in those chairs and you're on top of the mount and then you roll yourself to essentially a guard position, they're going to be like, what in the fuck are you doing? You could have done that in the last 10 seconds of the round. You didn't have to do that. You should have been pounding on him more.
Right.
It's higher percentage. But the confidence that Khabib Nurmagomedov has in his grappling, and in that particular sequence, I've seen him do that sequence before. And I'm not a super student of the lightweight division or of Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Right.
I'm not a super student. I've seen several highlights of him, right, throughout the years. But that particular transition, mounted triangle, roll underneath, hook the leg, I've seen him do that to someone else in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that he's comfortable with that particular transition. So I doubt that Hobby was like, oh, God.
Not today.
Hobby was like, here we go.
Here we go.
He's in his spot.
It's over.
He's reaching into a bag that he knows very well.
It is
right?
over.
And that's great. So hats off to him. And I truly buy the retirement.
Oh, yeah, it's over. It's done. It's done.
It's actually over.
It's never going to happen again.
And not many fighters are even capable of walking away for multiple reasons. Like, one, maybe they can't afford to.
Yeah.
They're used to a certain lifestyle. And if I've been making several $100,000 or several $1 million a year, I might have been doing what most Americans do, which is live to the absolute limit of my means. Right? I made $100,000 this month. I spent $95,000 to $110,000 this month. That's what most people do.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. And so it's like, have you been that kind of a fighter? Do you have to continue to fight after you know you should have been retired because you spent the money that you just made from the fight that you should have retired after? You know what I'm saying? That money's already gone, so now you have to book another fight. So you can't retire. Are you in a situation where you're so fucking competitive that sitting at home is going to eat away at you? You feel like you've got to be the man in the arena? There's that way out of retirement? Fuck. It's a hard thing to do, and it sounds silly, but I really think the fact that he brought up his mother, that he said, I promised my mother this was my last competition, I think that shit is ironclad real shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's
I don't think he would now be like, Mom, there's a new circumstance. I have to break my promise. I don't think he would break a promise to his mother. Especially if the promise involved his father.
Yeah.
So let's be full disclosure. Khabib said, I will not fight anymore without my dad. Now that my dad's gone, I'm done fighting. This is my last competition.
Yeah.
I promise, Mom, this is it. Right? If that conversation happened, it's a motherfucking wrap.
Yeah.
It's a fucking wrap. And so now, we could be looking at Michael Chandler and Tony Ferguson as the world title fight.
Okay.
We could be looking at Conor and Dustin.
Yes. Yes. We can hear about. Did you hear about?
But we will not be looking
at Khabib.
at Khabib beating up anybody for that 30-0.
Nope.
And good on him for it. Like, actually walk away. And make money by being yourself. Make money because of your excellence and the time period that you were excellent. There's a whole world of people and his part of the world and people that share his religion who will hold that guy in high standard for 100 years.
Yeah.
He's that kind of athlete in that world. I really believe that.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's totally undefeated and he went out the way he did by finishing people, finishing the top earner and the most famous guy in the game. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Winning his last fight by dramatic finish. In a Muslim country, no less.
Yeah.
Dude, these are things that are powerful. His story is strong as fuck. You lose your father, who's your mentor, your coach, your best friend. Dude, the story, it writes the fucking self. He's seriously a fucking icon, like a mythological creature. No, I said seriously, not Siri. Go fuck yourself. Apple. He's worked himself into a spot where by being himself, he can now earn money for the rest of his life.
Like he says.
So don't take any more strikes.
Yeah.
And do whatever the fuck your mom says.
He's like he says.
Sir.
Even billionaire only eats one bread a day. That's what he said literally in an interview. He's like, even billionaire only eats one bread a day, so I'll be fine.
Only one bread.
Yeah, only one bread a day. We can eat one bread a day. So that's true.
That's not true. I eat all the bread.
You can eat
right now. This
yeah.
is just straight peanut butter.
Yeah, I was saying, you're just eating peanut butter right now, but you can't eat. You can eat a whole loaf of bread in one day, maybe.
And there's peanut butter and jelly between the loaf, you know?
That's so sick.
Bro, I love that shit.
It's good, but it's just called self-control, bro.
Why would I have that? Look, the day that I wake up and I don't have fucking obliques, then I'll consider self-control. You know what I mean? I'll consider it. But don't make me take my shirt off, Anthony, because the only reason I won't is because I actually care about you. That's the only reason.
So what? You think you're the only person hitting 6 days a week?
When I was talking to my homeboy, he was like, you know, I don't follow you on Instagram. And I was like, I respect that. You answer my calls. Like, you answer my texts. You don't have to follow me on Instagram. I know exactly why you would not like to follow my Instagram. It's better for our friendship that you don't know. I understand that. Right? It's better for you and I to be friends if I keep my shirt on.
All I'm saying is that, hey, you're not the only one that does 6 days a week, buddy. So you need to relax.
What's that?
He said you're not the only one that does 6 days a week. You need to relax.
What are you trying to imply, Anthony?
It's like, I work out too, bro. So 6 days a week and 6 days a week.
You probably work out more than I do right now.
Probably. I've been killing myself.
Because I'm not lifting the right way at all. Like,
Really?
I lifted twice last week.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm a piece of shit.
Oh, that's okay. I did that 2 weeks ago. I only lifted twice, but then I had to make it up 6 days. It was tough. It was brutal. But
Yeah. Dude, I like 6 days a week. That's my shit. But, like, man, I gotta be emotionally ready to do that, you know?
yeah, that's the other thing. It's like,
And it's a lot easier to do that when, like, I have a fucking match or there's, you know?
I'm just waking up to do it. It's not fun.
Right. But I'll still do it.
Yeah.
Like, I just have to find the right motivation. So, like, when I first started lifting, the motivation, like, my why was, and it doesn't sound positive, it's because you lost everything, you piece of shit, and you have to get up, you have to reorganize your life, you have to take up more responsibility than you want.
Right.
You have to get used to doing things you don't want to do. Like, waking up at a time that's fucking ungodly and picking up heavy shit. And that why was good enough. And then it added to my why. The next why was, well, one, you're already doing it, right? You're already trying to improve yourself, and someone's going to try to kick your ass in a few weeks. And it's like, what? Someone's going to try to kick my ass? Oh, fuck. You start lifting more weights. You do it more. But without anyone trying to kick my ass,
So boring.
and it not being organized for me, so I don't have, like, a path that's carved out for me that I'm also following, right? So I'd have to do extra work that I feel underqualified to do.
Mhm.
Like, I feel underqualified to make my own program.
Yeah.
And so I find it very difficult to get motivated sometimes to go lift because I'm like, well, what should I do today? I just end up doing whatever turns me on, which is fine because it's much better than nothing,
Yeah.
right? But you're not going to get the kind of improvements that I was getting when I was working with Matt by just being like, well, I'll just do what I feel like. But it will help me with some maintenance, right?
Yeah. It'll help you keep your body together.
I'm not losing a ton of strength. I look good. I don't look like I've just been sitting here eating Twinkies, even though I often do.
There you go.
But, yeah, like, I'm also not seeing improvement, right? I haven't seen a loss of strength. Like, just the other day, I threw up 205 on the bar and just did triples. Just like bop, 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 squats. Just like bop, 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 bop. It was super easy. Felt pretty strong. Now my legs felt like shit after that.
Yeah.
Right? But like I could do it. It wasn't like a question.
Right.
Right? But my bench was weak the other day. Like I tried to put up 205 for a single.
Yeah. It's dicey or no?
It was a no.
Oh.
It was a no. 185 flew off my chest. And so I was like, 205, easy, 10 on each side, blah, blah. Da, 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 stretch it out a little bit, take 5 minutes to rest. I used to say something about glycogen. I was like, yeah, the glycogen's gotta come back, or whatever the fuck that means. And then I was like, I'm gonna fucking lay down, push his weight off of these nipples, baby, let's go. And it was like, it moved like an inch off my tits, and it started coming back. And I was like, fuck.
That's rough.
Depression.
It is.
I know.
It is.
I know. Failing at 205? Like, who are we?
It happens. I haven't gotten to bench this year, so.
Oh, at all?
At all. No squats, no bench.
That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It's all been deadlifts.
I mean, deadlifts are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, my deadlift technique sucks right now because I'm not practiced, you know?
Yeah.
I haven't been training the right way for the deadlift, so all these things in time, though. Everything will come back.
My deadlift will never leave me. It'll always be, my form will always be exactly the same. It's always been.
That's because your back's so stiff, you can't help but be right.
I'm always right. Yeah, exactly. As soon as I lift it, it's like everything looks easy. I just pull it up, like, yep, there you go. That's.
What are you deadlifting right now?
Right now, I hit 265 twice, and so now I got to go to 270 on Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday.
That's great.
Yeah, Tuesday. I think so. So that'll be 270.
That's great, man.
So I'll hit 305 by the end of this. Before New
Yeah.
Year's, and then
that's gonna be so fun.
Then,
the first time I tried 300,
yeah.
It didn't even move.
Really?
Yeah, I had done 295, and it was fine.
Yeah.
I went to move 300. It was mental.
Yeah.
Entirely mental. I literally did not move it. It did not come off the floor. Isn't that crazy?
That's kind of crazy, but it's like at the same time I'm like, it's just so
yeah. Then like 2 days later.
Yeah.
305 right off the ground. Whop. Like, easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I just had to get out of my own way mentally.
I don't know. I think about it like this. My body, I can be strong with my body, but my body is not strong. Like.
It's like, I can be strong, like, my mind can be strong, and I'll use this body to get this thing off, but, like, my body's really not that strong.
Yeah, like, if you asked me to, like, hold on the parallettes for an hour, or for not even an hour, for a minute, it's like, yeah, we're going to struggle a little bit. But if you said, like, hey, like, move that piece of thing over there, it's like, yeah, I could do that.
I understand. Did you also notice that on the same day that Khabib fought and retired, Kanye West was on Rogan?
Yes, I saw that. They released the episode right before.
But you didn't see it.
I saw the episode released.
You did see it.
I saw the episode. I didn't watch the full thing until like today, and I'm still like about like 75% through it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, towards the end they get more into the presidential election and shit.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this. I found the first 5 minutes of that fucking brutal, right?
Everybody does.
Like, I went through an experience watching that podcast. And, like, it's not fair to say that I'm a Kanye fan, but it's more fair to say that I'm a Kanye supporter.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I want Kanye West to do well. I hope the best for that guy. I think he has a lot to offer, like, art and possibly society through design.
Yeah.
Right? So I think those things. So I try to give him a lot of rope when he's talking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's a spoiler. I was surprised that Joe Rogan was really, really willing to give him the exact same amount of rope I would have. Like, he let the guy go and then put the guy over. He was like, yeah, like, no, I get it. Like, you're thinking all these thoughts at once. It's like a tornado of ideas. He's like, yeah. He's like, I get it. and he like really did his best to fucking stay with Kanye.
Yeah.
Like, where like I think a lot of people doing that interview, especially when they have an audience as massive as Joe, would have put themselves over. Would have been like, what the fuck? Why don't you calm the fuck down, bro? Like, let's stick to one thing at a time. And like tried to check him and shit. I think a lot of people would have done that. And just tried to make the interview more easy on themselves, or possibly more viral for their fucking career, right? But Rogan let him fucking riff, and then put him over for doing so instead of chopping him down, which I thought was very, very fucking interesting. And maybe someone only having that number of fucking podcast episodes and that many interactions of this particular kind is even capable of doing that.
Well, I mean, I agree and I disagree. I think it's that, but I also think it's like the preparation for this interview, because you have to think about it like this. It wasn't like this isn't like just like his first time talking to him, or like in that form. Like he's had like an hour-long conversation with him before, like a couple, because they've done phone calls beforehand, just talking to each other and just getting so he can kind of understand him, because he's like saying like Kanye wanted him to go to his church, and Joe's like, no, thank you. But they've had long conversations. So I think it's like Joe. I think you're right. It is the podcast, but I also think Joe had enough time to kind of like, have that interaction. And then you also have to think about like the other David Cho, I think the guy's name is, or yes, like that guy,
another like mad genius.
Yes, like having two podcasts with that guy, and also having lots of phone call conversations with him before they have their podcast. Like that
is training.
Yeah, it's like training. Like he prepares for those interviews, like those particular people, I think.
I think that's a good point. Still, I was surprised at how open Joe was to Kanye's ideas and how open he was to the way that Kanye was presenting them. So kudos to Joe for staying very, very open-minded through that episode. It was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool. And I really think it could have gone left with a lot of fucking people. Like, he could be overwhelming.
Yeah.
He could be overwhelming. But like once, and it was almost like he was tense about it too. Like until Joe openly put him over, until Joe was like, because at first I think Kanye felt like he was being challenged.
Yeah.
Joe was like, well, what makes you a visionary?
Yeah.
And Kanye's like, well, I gotta do some stuff, man. And he's like, well, like, just tell me what makes you a visionary. And then eventually, he was like, it was when he told him, like, hey, you're thinking about all these ideas at the same time.
Yeah.
And Kanye's like, his posture changed. He relaxed. He told a couple jokes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? His demeanor changed. He became more personable.
Yeah.
He wasn't as closed. It was, I don't know, man. I could argue that it was a master class in how to deal with somebody on an interview.
Yeah.
And, like, bring out their best self. I think it was an incredible interview. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I think about it yet, except for that it's dense. I will watch it again. And I think there's a chance, I mean, you could argue that day,
yeah,
Khabib retiring, right, and fighting, but Khabib retiring, and Rogan and Kanye having a meeting, could possibly be like a discussion topic in somebody's history book. I don't think you'll be overstating it at all, actually. Like, so on a single afternoon, two cultural icons got together and had a 3-hour conversation, and millions of people watched it. Also, one of the top athletes in the Muslim world, which is a fucking billion people, right? And like all the people that follow Khabib, how many people follow Khabib on Instagram right now? Just Instagram alone. So you can get a sense of how fucking famous this guy really is. That I'm not just like this. I'm not just talking shit here. He doesn't have like a million followers, right? It's something fucking craziness. It's craziness. How many people give a fuck about Khabib? So it's like
24 million.
24 fucking million people follow this guy on social media. And he's not even like that. He's not even like a social media guy. That's just how many people give a fuck. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So in that afternoon, that guy retires from his sport after a dominating performance. And then two cultural icons of their time. One in a brand new world, that world of podcasting. The other from music, who has now gotten himself into design. Had a conversation that within hours, millions of people had already watched.
Yeah. Let's see.
When I checked in to finally watch it, it was about 6 hours after it aired, and 3 million people or so had already watched it. Like, the day it came out.
Yeah. It's almost at 5 million.
Yeah, so 5 million people. This happened fucking yesterday. What TV show has 5 million people that watch it?
Simpsons.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like big things.
Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But it was worth watching. And I don't know if it made me feel like he has any business being the president. Right? But if I were the president, he's a person whose number I'd want on my phone.
Yeah.
I'll say that. And for a shoot.
Yeah.
Like for a shoot. Just because he thinks of ideas in a different way. And he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
And he's actually doing some of the things he's talking about. It's not just like, and then, wouldn't it be cool if it's like, no, how can this be done?
Yeah. How can I not use solar panels?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
How can I build a school that runs on water? Like, I want to do that. I'm going to do that. Like, that's a unique person.
Yeah.
And so, like, if people want to be like, oh, he's this, he's that, like, he's been those things too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But he's also a guy that's building a school that is moved by water. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what have you ever done? What have I ever done? Like, I don't judge people by the things that the media says about them or even the way that they, like, conduct themselves in a way, because sometimes that can just be awkward and captured in a weird moment. But when people do impressive things, I can only respect that. And so when I look at the things that Kanye West has been able to do career-wise, how could you be anything but impressed by it? I also won't say that I didn't struggle with how many times he used the idea of God and how many times he said that on the podcast. It did make me uncomfortable, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because I'm not used to that, right? So then I started thinking to myself, my great-grandmother would kind of talk like that. And in the Muslim world, it's commonplace to kind of say things like, inshallah, right? Like,
right.
God willing, if it is God's will, right? And it's almost, I don't want to say it's a throwaway, but it's like, it almost is. It's like, are you coming to dinner? Somebody might say, God willing, I'll see you then, right?
Yeah.
But all they really mean is, yeah, dude, like, I'll be there barring strange circumstances. It is my intention to be there. That's what they're saying.
Right.
Right? But God is referenced. Because God is referenced in all parts of your day. And I'm not particularly used to talking to people who God is a thing that they reference for every moment of their day. I'm just not used to that. Right? So it's like, well, if God wants me to do that, then I'll do that. If someone said that to me, it makes me feel a certain way just because of my thought process, right?
Yeah. I get that.
And that's closed-minded and fucked up. Like, unless they say something fucked up after they say that, I shouldn't have to react in a way. But it's my ear, though. Those words curdle in my ear because of my history. So I was like, all right, give someone the benefit of the doubt. Assume that it's more like along the lines of inshallah.
Yeah.
right? That's what you're saying. It's like, well, if God wants me to do that, I'll do that. You know, like I don't know,
Yeah.
but like we'll see what happens. Like I say similar things without using the word God because I don't want anyone to be confused by what I would mean by God.
Right.
God's a confusing word in English for sure.
Yeah.
In English for sure. It's a confusing word. But it tends to mean God of Abraham. It also tends to mean that you believe in Jesus, but it doesn't have to.
Right.
But it often does in this country.
Yeah. God
right?
can be Jesus, the Son, the Ghost, the Holy Spirit.
So it's fucking...
Yeah. It's all those things.
It's complicated.
I will say this, though. What was interesting about like his religious aspect was what he said about people reading about sermons, which was like, I would like that better if I went to church. Is just read the book to me. Don't add anything else to it. Just read the book to me. That would make me much more enjoy church than you add. Like, don't add the sauce, as he says.
Yeah, but then there is no church, in my opinion. Then you would just read the Bible.
Well, it's
right?
like read it and have a discussion. I'd be okay with that.
I know what he means. Yeah, and I do agree with that to some degree, like objectively, right? Because anybody can hold a book and then be charismatic.
Yeah.
You can talk about anything you wanted, essentially.
Yeah.
Like your job is to be charismatic, hold this book, do a dance, right? Make everybody clap, pass on that plate, get this paper, buy a rolls.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's your job, preacher.
Yeah.
Go ahead, preacher. Maybe that lady with the hat in the back with a syncopated clap. Go ahead, preacher. Preach. Well, there's a dude that always says that. Like that's his fucking his ad lib. Like that's where ad libs came from in hip hop. They came out of the church, dog. They came out of the pew. Yeah, I'm kidding, but I'm not. They did.
I think it's the Fields.
Nah.
I think so.
Nah.
Yeah.
Because the people, look, you're tracing it back too far. The people that made those beats, I'm serious. The people that made those beats weren't in the fields, though. They were at church with their fucking auntie and their grandma. Because, you know, mama locked up, daddy was never there, but auntie and grandma took you to church. And the preacher's preaching, and the preacher's going in. And there's, like, an old dude, and his pew is at a different angle because he's a deacon and shit, right? And so he's closer to the fucking front, and his pew, you know what I'm talking about, and his fucking pew's at a different angle, and he's got a rock to him when he's moving around in this little pew by himself, and the preacher's going, and every time he gets to, like, a peak, the dude will be like, well... That's his ad lib. And then like there's a lady, she's in like the third row, she got a big ass hat. She'll be like, "Come on, preacher." That's her fucking ad lib. And you know Miss Jenkins gonna say that every week. At least twice. You wait for it. She waits for it. She doesn't want to blow her load right away. She can't just be like, he might not be talking about shit yet. No, she gotta wait. So it's like, so he's really picking up speed. So she's gonna be like, "Come on, preacher."
I get it.
That's it.
But
that was the shit, dude. That made church good. But like, I understand his point. But it's like, there should still be a lecture. Otherwise, there's no point. Right? Like, there should be a lecture. Otherwise, fuck. It's like you just put up a picture or a transparency on the wall and be like, "Here's today's Bible verse. Now think about that shit." Now get out of here.
It's like you read it, you discuss it, and then you go home. I think church would be way more exciting.
Yeah, I think that would be more exciting.
I don't like it when people just yell things towards me, and I just like have to just get it right then and there. And then I don't know. It's too manufactured.
See, but now is that Bible study that you're describing, or is that church? And does it matter?
It does matter because Bible study is usually for.
And who am I to decide what it should be?
Bible
right?
study happens on Thursday.
I don't even go to church.
Bible study happens on Thursday. What's wrong with you?
Bible study on Thursday? I thought it was Wednesday. See, that's why I'm always late.
Oh, you're early. You showed up early. He's like, I'm here. I was here.
No, I'm late for the week before.
I'll wait for the week before. It's like, I was here. I'm here. It's like, no.
I was super late.
It probably is Wednesday. I don't know, honestly. I just made up a day. Can't be Friday.
Fuck.
Can't be Friday,
It's
though.
like, you know good goddamn well the Bible study's on Thursday.
Looks like it's Thursday, Jog, don't you know? So I have no idea.
That's funny. But yeah, I do think it's a conversation worth listening to, but I'm not going to pretend like it didn't take me a great deal of patience to get into it.
Yeah,
The
20 minutes.
Kanye Joe Rogan conversation, the first few minutes,
20.
and longer than that.
20,
honestly.
20, 20. That's
All right, I agree.
that's the consensus online is the first 20 minutes are rough. After you get past that, it's golden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think that's accurate.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
Good job, internet.
There you go.
You're telling the truth out there.
There you
That's
go.
a good consensus. I agree.
Let's see. You want to hear some weird news?
Hell yeah.
All right. So this is from, let's see what part. I want to say this. This is from China. I don't know the specific parts just yet. Oh, Zhejiang province. The man goes on first date with women, and she brings 23 family members along for the meal.
Whoa.
And
That's not all right.
So basically, the story begins with where a 29-year-old man would have been having trouble finding love during the pandemic, was set up on a date by his mother. He was looking forward to the date and arranged to meet her at a restaurant for a meal together. When he went to the restaurant as they planned, he walked in to find his date turned up with 23 of her relatives. She said, "Let's all eat together." And despite not receiving any advance warning that the party for two had turned into a party of 25, the man sat down and ate with the family. As they ate, the table filled up with expensive meals and alcohol, which his date and her family members devoured happily. At the end of the meal, the man was given the bill by the restaurant, and he was gobsmacked to find it was $2,000, $2,962. Unable to pay the bill, the man snuck out of the restaurant without anyone noticing and returning home, leaving the woman to foot the bill. When she
As you should, honestly.
yeah, as he should. Basically, at the end of the story, she had to pay the bill, and she basically said, like, the reason for me doing this was that I wanted to know how generous this man was. I was testing the man whether the man who might potentially be my boyfriend would be generous enough to pay for all 25 people, including himself and myself. And she says that she was the victim, and yeah.
Dude, she should jump off a fucking tall building. And don't even tell nobody. Just fucking.
And your 23 friends.
Fuck that.
You and your family members should go jump off a building. All 23 of you.
That's so crazy.
Like, you guys all thought this was okay?
That's the way that people tie things together and then call it logic.
It's like,
Right?
yes.
It's like, I wanted to see if he was generous. It's like, you mean you wanted to see if he was a fucking mark?
Yeah.
Like, he humored you to sit down. I wouldn't have done that.
I would have been like, see you.
You don't invite me to a dinner with 25 fucking people. I'd have been like, this is extraordinarily strange and not what I signed up for. So just lose my number.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking contact me. You're getting ball locked on everything.
Yeah. Who cares if my social
Yeah,
credit
for
score
sure.
is going down? Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Ball locked. So I never would have sat at that table, so I never would have gotten that bill.
Yeah.
And then, fuck all of your family for ordering all this expensive shit. Like, if you're gonna do this essentially as a prank, because that's what it is. If you don't think it's a prank, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just like, I just wanted to see, and it's like, well, what do you know about this guy? Is he like a millionaire? And if he is it possible that he sat down and felt like you took advantage of him?
Yeah.
And if he's not, did he feel entirely overwhelmed by a $2,000 dinner bill? Like, go fuck yourself, lady. Like, go fuck yourself. I guess you're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Or maybe one of those 24 people that you invited to fucking dinner can fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, because maybe that's the best path.
Stupid.
Is there another one?
There is. Oakland's notoriously aggressive turkey captured by wildlife expert posing as frail woman.
Say it again.
So, Oakland's notoriously aggressive turkey captured by wildlife expert posing as frail woman.
What do you mean?
So,
Like, was she trying to trick the turkey? Like,
yes. Yes. So,
Stop, dude.
So Gerald, the inordinately aggressive turkey that forced the closure of the Oakland's Markham Rosen Garden, is off to a greener, albeit less rosy pasture. After 5 months of attacking unsuspected lake residents, Gerald was captured Thursday and was released onto wildland. So basically, what happened is that this wild turkey was like most wild turkeys run away from people, just run away. They do not want anything to do with you. And so this guy was getting fed by people, specifically older women. And so as he was getting fed, he got more and more comfortable with people, and he started getting more aggressive. And so
that happens.
Yeah, so his particular thing was that he liked to pick on old women. Like that was his thing. That was his target. Because all the reports were like older women were getting attacked by this turkey. And so there's like this basically like this
angry Tom. That's what they're called. Do you know that?
Angry Toms, yeah. But they call it his name is Gerald.
Gerald the Tom.
Yeah. Let's see. So basically, this 5-month operation where they finally get into contact with this turkey, where this woman pretends to be this old lady, frail, having blueberries, kibble, and sunflower seeds ready to feed him, pretending she was scared of him and retreating. So the lady pretended to be scared. That's when Gerald puffed up and started showing aggression. And then she's like, I saw his reaction to me, and I said, "Oh, you want a piece of this? I'll give it to you." And but 40 years of experience prepared her for this moment. She scruffed the turkey, grabbing him by the neck in a way that doesn't hurt the bird. And then
see, they have to put that in there so no one writes them in like,
yeah.
What do you mean she grabbed the turkey by his neck?
Yeah.
I'm a vegan and I'm offended. It's like, what about all those old ladies that fucking Gerald here was fucking pecking to death and shit? Have you ever seen Thanksgiving?
No, I have not.
Yeah, Thanksgiving is about a turkey that runs amok, killing during Thanksgiving, and he talks and he gives one-liners like, "Yeah, how's the gravy, bitch?" Like he says shit like that. I'm not even kidding.
I mean,
I think he might fuck someone and like come on their face in that movie. I'm not certain. But I'm not certain that the turkey doesn't come on someone's face. I'll say that. That's the high quality movies that I watch late at night in this very bed just across from me. Anthony?
That's so dark.
No, that's like a Christmas story. You tell that every year.
To who? To whose child? To Satan's child?
To all the children.
All the children. Definitely not those children. Not any children.
No, none of the children. Yeah. I'm gonna break kayfabe. Anthony, I think we should let the people know that something is in the works.
Okay. Let them know.
Something that covers up your titties. Something that might even cover up part of your arms.
Top of your arms.
Like a motherfucking shirt.
A t-shirt.
Like a motherfucking t-shirt. And as soon as the motherfucking t-shirt is designed and complete, it will also magically become a hoodie. So the parts of you guys, if you're in a part of the world where a t-shirt's better for you at this time of year, buy that t-shirt.
Yeah.
If the hoodie's better for you, mama, buy that shirt. Buy that shirt. Buy that hoodie, daddy.
Yeah, he means a hoodie.
Whatever makes the most sense. You'll be able to get both. Love and Show shirts are on the way. We're designing them. We're making them beautiful, and soon they could be yours. I just realized how to solve our spacing problems.
Oh, there you go.
And I credit Kanye. No, I'm kidding. I credit me, Anthony.
Okay.
I credit me. No, I'm kidding. I credit no one. I just realized that the way we were executing before,
yeah,
not the way.
Okay.
But Tom will figure out what I was doing before. But we'll fix it, and I'll show you what I mean.
Okay.
In the meantime, Internet, I must bid you adieu. I also have video content for the Internet. Content of some boxing that happened, perhaps. Me getting punched in the face and nose. Some video content of me teaching you guys how to complete a sweep and a solo drill to help you do some other sweeps. I'm out here trying to teach you guys how to be Wonka Vaders. I want to liberate you. I want to liberate myself. Anthony, I'm sick of these chains, bro.
Trying to be free.
Trying to be free. Trying to be free.
Like the red, white, and blue flag.
Step 1.
Become an American. Step 1, become an American. Step 2, get money. Step 3, you're free.
Well, I became an American again because I have fucking legal identification again.
Woo! Don't show the whole.
That glorious.
There you go. That's quick.
I'm just saying, my ability to take ID pictures, red belt.
Red belt?
I'll cover up my fucking gimmicks. I'll cover up my fucking information just to demonstrate the level of ID, the ID levels, the picture levels here.
Do you smile in yours?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Anthony, there are levels to the picture game.
Oh, there you go. Oh, you look like a straight psychopath. That's the straight killer look. That's dead behind the eyes. That's not. That's like, hey, give me a ticket and see what happens.
You are incorrect. That is one of the most lovely.
That's some nightmare shit.
That is one of the most lovely pictures anyone's ever taken on their ID.
All right, I will say this and this alone. If anybody ever needed to recreate the Joker and make him black, there you go. You're the #1 candidate. There you go.
Look, comments on this. I'm going to cut this little piece of the episode out in a day or two. I put this on Instagram. Feel free to comment there as well. Tell Anthony that his words now are just about jealousy.
It's not jealousy. It's that I've seen that smile.
You see he didn't put up his ID picture, yeah?
I have it ready to go.
No.
I'm ready to go. It's right here. It's ready to go.
Okay, you do. I already gone. I already went.
Let's see if I can get this guy. Let's see if it's right.
All right. I respect what you did there.
Yeah.
It's quite good work.
Yeah.
It's quite good work. This is why we vibe together, Anthony.
Yes.
Because our ID game is motherfucking tight. Tight butthole.
It's good. It's a good game. Good
Tight
game.
butthole ID pictures.
Tight.
Sir, I will consult with you in a few minutes.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a little break, but then I'll text you when we can discuss what I've realized about the t-shirts.
Sounds good.
And yeah, and I gotta talk to a young hooligan about a schedule. But yeah, I'll kick it to you later. Internet, this is goodbye for real. I fucking love each and every one of you who spends any time listening to me and Anthony talk. Yeah, I really appreciate it. The shirts are coming. They're not going to be expensive because I want you to buy 5 of them.
Yeah.
I want you to buy 16 of them and give them to 15 of your friends. Or maybe just one of your friends and make sure that they wear them every single day.
Give them to homeless people. I don't care.
Oh, definitely clothe the homeless. For now, goodbye, Internet. Anthony.